from our nation's capital, this is the National Weather Desk.
Good morning and welcome to the National Weather Desk. I'm meteorologist Jordan Evans. The wildfire burning in Florida's Everglades exploded in size on Monday. The fire started Sunday afternoon, but by yesterday, the flames spread to more than 11,000 acres in Broward and Miami-Dade counties. The good news is that firefighters now have it 60% contained. Reed Bennon has more.
So last night, sort of sleeping with one eye open?
Pretty much, yes.
A massive fire is burning in the Florida Everglades. The blaze, named the Max Road Fire, broke out on Sunday.
We could hear it crackling. That's how bad it was. I had to hose down my house. Everyone was hosing down all their trailers before the fire department came.
The area primed for fire as large parts of the state continue to experience severe and extreme levels of drought.
Very, very concerned coming out in the middle of the night just to make sure it wasn't coming towards our way.
Firefighters attacking the flames from the ground and the sky. In addition to firefighting efforts, authorities positioned police and fire rescue resources at the ready in communities close to the flames. Emergency officials said there was no imminent threat to the community. However, they did urge locals to monitor conditions in case that changes. Some residents preparing to make a quick exit if the flames get too close.
We're keeping an eye on things. We've already set aside some things in case we have to leave.
Others doing what little they can to prepare their properties for a worst-case scenario.
We're going to have to just keep watch, make sure that we do what we can to protect our house and pray that the wind stays to the west.
I'm Reed Benyon reporting.
More than a day later, homeowners across Texas are cleaning up still following severe storms from Sunday night. Powerful winds knocked down trees while golf ball-sized hail fell across several communities near Austin and San Antonio. There was plenty of lightning too, and some of those wind gusts clocked in at 75 miles per hour. That's equivalent to a Category 1 hurricane. Betty Cross with our Austin sister station has more.
I went into the backyard, and the trees were waving around and everything already.
It wasn't long before wind gusts of 50 to 70 miles an hour blew through Austin, snapping off limbs and toppling tall trees.
The Austin Fire Department was here because this big tree had fallen down across the street here and was blocking the road. And it hadn't even stopped raining yet, and the fire department was already out here working on it.
The city of Austin will deal with storm damage that blocks roads, but downed trees and branches on private property are usually the responsibility of homeowners to remove.
Trees are pretty tricky. If there's a tree on your house, your insurance company might pay because that damaged your house. That's what caused the damage. So it might pay to get that off and then to repair your house. But if the tree didn't damage your house, then insurance company isn't likely to pay for that.
The expense of removing trees, it's going to fall on the homeowner.
Right. Yep, probably so. Same thing goes with a car. If a tree fell next to your car, that's different than if a tree fell on your car.
The Texas Department of Insurance says the first step is to call your insurance company and schedule an adjuster to come to your house. Then take pictures and video of damage before you move branches or make temporary repairs. Fred knows removing this downed tree limb won't be covered by insurance. He's just happy he got his leaky roof replaced earlier this year.
I got my roof done in February, and my neighbor just got his done last week, so we were both really lucky that we got it done before this storm blew through.
A man who was struck by lightning northeast of Houston on Saturday is calling himself the unluckiest lucky man alive. It serves as a cautionary tale as more than 300 people are struck by lightning each year just in the United States. Trevon Sanchez has his story.
19-year-old Hunter White returned to Jasper County after a 10-hour stay at Memorial Hermann Hospital in Houston. Lightning struck him while fishing along the Angelina River, leaving him with several wounds and burns on his body.
I'm glad I didn't go in the water. Like I said, I couldn't feel my legs when I come back to. I couldn't move my right foot. I could barely move my right leg. The strike went in kind of through my stomach around here and went all the way down through my leg and come back up through the top of my foot.
Hunter White says he was fishing with his mother the day before Mother's Day, leaning against this tree when lightning struck and blew him feet away.
Most of what I felt was wood and stuff all over me from this tree that exploded, which is what's all over my face. It's, you know, I've got little thorns and stuff still all in my skin, and they went deep.
White says several sharp pieces of wood narrowly missed him, leaving him feeling considerably lucky after the lightning strike.
I got lucky, none of them hit me. It went through me. But I got real lucky. I just got lucky. That's all there is. I'm probably the unluckiest lucky man alive.
White says he remembers blacking out just before the lightning strike made contact, landing him next to a nearby tree. He woke up to see his mom and others standing around him. She says it's a miracle her son is still alive.
I got to hug him and hold him because he was home already. So that was the best Mother's Day ever.
Hunter says the lightning destroyed his fishing rod and left him with a once-in-a-lifetime experience burned into his memory. But he returned to the same spot just 24 hours later to go fishing again.
Beware of bears. That's the new warning to people who live south of Seattle after a bear was spotted roaming in a neighborhood. As Stella Sun reports, while it's not unusual to see bears here, it is important for people to be aware.
In Renton,
there's a lot of outdoor spaces.
Living here means living next to nature.
Thousands of acres of public lands that are forests.
As more homes are built on bear habitat, the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife say the chances of encountering a bear increases.
We've actually had a black bear visit us on our property quite a few times. We store our compost bin outside, so we've had the bear come through, go through the compost.
Renton police posting this community announcement. They say a bear was spotted in the 1100 block of Shelton Avenue Northeast in the Highlands Park neighborhood. Fish and Wildlife say black bear sightings are fairly common in Renton and other suburbs in eastern King, Snohomish, and Pierce counties.
Black bears we've seen come through our old house out right in the driveway at like 2 in the morning, a couple of them.
In the spring, before natural foods become available, and in the fall, as bears prepare to hibernate, that's when bears are more likely to look for food in the suburbs.
It's a concern. With bears, they're wild animals, so not something you want to approach and not something you want, in your neighborhood. But, they live around here, they're scavenging, they're looking for food.
As bears scavenge for food, WDFW and Renton police share these reminders. Never feed bears or other wildlife. Always keep trash cans in a secure, preferably enclosed location. Watch your pets outside and keep them on a leash. And if you see a bear, move to a safe location.
Boating season is fast approaching, with many people hoping to get on the water by Memorial Day weekend. But before they take on Lake Tahoe, they need to make sure their boats aren't bringing in those invasive species also to the water. So Will Payne has more on that.
Boating season is underway at Lake Tahoe. But before you head out on the water, maybe on a
2025 325 supercharged GTX, one of the fastest bata skis on the lakes.
You have to get it checked out by these guys.
This is our frontline defense for Lake Tahoe. So we start first with a visual inspection. We open up all the compartments, and then the final check is we have them start the jet ski.
Leland Lai and his group will spend the next few months inspecting all kinds of vessels in an effort to keep Tahoe clean of any invasive species. A golden mussels discovery in the Sacramento area has inspectors on high alert.
The shells are extremely sharp. You can imagine people are enjoying the beach right now, being able to walk around barefoot. That's the simplest example of of the problems that these mussels can create.
The watercraft inspection program has been going on for nearly 2 decades, a partnership between the Tahoe Resource Conservation District and the Tahoe Regional Planning Agency.
Boaters can all do their part by coming and visiting one of our inspection stations. Our inspectors have inspected over 123,000 boats. The program has also intercepted a little over 730 vessels with aquatic invasive species on them.
And coming up on the National Weather Desk, we'll look into the history of the American rodeo. And we'll help you better understand rip currents, their dangers, and how to protect yourself if you get stuck in one. As we go into break, views over Lake Mishnock in Rhode Island.
I'm meteorologist Charlie Lopresti with Look at the Northeast. It's a chilly start in the Northeast this morning. We're trying to warm it into the 40s, and afternoon temps will be in the 50s and 60s. There'll be a few clouds that will mix in, particularly in northern New England, courtesy of some colder temperatures above. But today's a nice day. Wednesday, things start to change. Our next round of wet weather will be moving in during the midday and afternoon. That's about 2 o'clock or so. And the pattern will stay unsettled. Another area of low pressure develops to the south, and that will keep some more rain in the forecast for Thursday and Friday.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Gerard Bailey. Here's a look at the Mid-Atlantic region. High pressure will mean a beautiful afternoon with temperatures warming up and tons of sunshine. We will likely see that coming to a very quick end. By Wednesday afternoon, we will see our next front approach, bringing showers and thunderstorms likely to the region. So temperatures on the mild to warmer side, mid-60s to around 70 degrees, but we'll see those numbers up a little bit more. As the front approaches, the rain will cool things down in the mountains, but we'll be close to the 70s on Wednesday.
Hi, meteorologist Jennifer Collins with a look at your southeast forecast. Mild conditions for the Carolinas with temperatures running in the low to mid 70s. We'll stay in the upper 70s for most of the northern Gulf Coast with the mid to upper 80s across central and south Florida. Scattered showers and downpours for north central Florida through Tuesday afternoon. More pop-up downpours for most of central and south Florida during the afternoon and evening hours. Drier weather for the rest of the southeast late on Tuesday. We'll see drier air move into Florida late on Thursday.
The National Weather Desk celebrates 250 years of amazing America.
Beach erosion has been an ongoing problem for many Maine communities. In one neighborhood known as Camp Ellis, it's destroyed 38 homes over the years, and many blame the original jetty built in the 1800s. As Brad Rogers reports, research is now underway to see if a new jetty could solve the problems.
This was the first time, our first chance here to see what the waves look like before this jetty is built.
Assistant Professor Will Katitsky and a team of UNE student researchers deployed 2 wave gauges off the coast of Camp Ellis that will compare wave strength before and after a new 750-foot jetty is built, perpendicular to the current jetty.
So right now we're trying to get some preliminary data before it's built, so we can really get the before and after comparisons.
We're recording about 10 times a second. As that wave comes over, you can see the change in pressure.
Pressure then converted to measure wave height. This morning, they took both gauges out of the ocean to check their findings.
These have been down for a few weeks now. There you go. Well done.
There we go.
We need to go open up the computer and see if we have data.
In fact, early findings from today show wave energy, as expected, is stronger on the ocean side of where the jetty will be built.
I just looked at high tide here. This is promising that our observations are agreeing with the Corps' models so far. It's about a 10% wave difference between our 2 sites.
There's a lot of factors that go into this, so it's hard to draw any conclusions or anything like that at this time.
The real test will come after the jetty is built. That's when UNE students will put the wave monitors back in the bay to measure the waves on the windward and leeward sides of the jetty to see if it really does reduce stress on the Camp Ellis shoreline.
The wave comes in, it's going to hit the spur jetty, which is going to cause an increase in wave energy on the ocean side. The hope is that it will slow down erosion in Camp Ellis.
If we can just remediate some of the power, I think it's a big step in the right direction.
David Plavin and other Camp Ellis homeowners have waited a long time for a project like this.
We can't rely on Mother Nature or anything at this point. Man has to intervene and put up some sort of structures to keep it safe.
It will take about a year for the jetty to be built. UNE will then run more tests to see if the jetty makes a difference.
Climate change is progressing. We all see that. So any protection is going to be good, especially in these really vulnerable areas.
We're now less than 3 weeks from the start of hurricane season, and one risk that often goes unnoticed is the rip currents. And NOAA says they've caused 10 to 15% of all U.S. fatalities just from the tropical storms and the hurricanes that stay out to sea. And it often happens again when those storms don't even make those landfall. So meteorologist Alan Struck shows us the danger and how to protect yourself if you do get stuck in one.
When hurricanes or tropical storms threaten, one thing that often gets overlooked, rip currents. The sun can be shining along the coast in some areas while a storm is threatening another part, causing those rip currents. A storm pushes that water onto shore, and that's what people can get stuck in. The basics of it, you have a sandbar with water rushing over it, and it goes out through a deeper channel. Swimming against this is like being on a treadmill and is impossible. Best thing to do is swim parallel to the shore to get out of a rip current. It is a major weather killer that often gets overlooked and happens when tropical storms and hurricanes threaten.
An annual bird festival in Wisconsin featured a special treat this year, an appearance by a rare and endangered whooping crane. Eric Peterson has more on this most unusual sighting.
Just off this section of the Red Fox hiking trail, an endangered whooping crane makes its way across the field. Ismael Vargas and Bill Wright spotted the bird Friday morning at the Horicon National Wildlife Refuge.
We saw the whooping crane, which is a rare bird, to find around here.
There's only 800 of them in the U.S., or 800 of them in the world. And we had 3 here a couple years ago, but one of them was killed. The young one was killed by a snapper, they think, and then they didn't come back and nest here for whatever reasons.
Bird watching is part of the weekend's Horicon Marsh Bird Festival.
It's a great time of year. It's a busy time of year. For me, it's probably the most exciting time of year.
Marsh Haven Nature Center Director Matt Rupnick says this 46-acre site features nesting colonies for tree swallows and purple martins.
All those summer birds are coming back. So most of the birds are back already, and even more to come. On average, there's about 300 species that have been seen on the Horicon Marsh at a given time, which is incredible.
Including the endangered whooping crane.
This one here is alone, but hopefully it'll get a mate, and maybe we'll have a nesting pair here, with any luck.
Pretty cool to see, though, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see.
That was a treat, for, of the lifetime almost, because I only 3 times have seen those birds, and I'm happy about it.
Before the rodeo became what we know it as today, the cowboy competition had humble origins. The grit, the showmanship, rugged attitude blended with athletic skill. Before it was a big money televised sport, it was a lifestyle for cowboys in the American West. The rodeo took everyday ranch work like herding cattle, roping, and riding horses and turned it into a fierce competition. And that start is traced all the way back to the Mexican cowboys of the early 1800s. Ranch hands known as vaqueros were migrating from northern Mexico into the U.S. to find work. Between drives and ranching gigs, vaqueros gathered to see who could rope and ride the most irritable horse. These informal gatherings started attracting large crowds. And by the time the United States annexed Texas in 1845 and claimed a large chunk of Mexico, the vaqueros' culture had truly spilled over into the cowboy lifestyle in America. In 1883, the more organized competition that became American Rodeo started to gain popularity. Events like Buffalo Bill's Wild West Show went on the road, bringing the rodeo across America. In 1893, the show set up camp outside Chicago's World's Fair for a run of more than 6 months, drawing millions of spectators and staging over 300 performances. Today, the rodeo is an American fixture with key events like bull riding, saddle bronc, bareback riding, roping, barrel racing, and more. The Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association, the world's largest, boasts more than 5,000 active competing members, and the season finals leave millions of dollars in prize money up for grabs for the best of the best rodeo cowboys. Before the COVID-19 pandemic struck, bull riding had become the fastest growing sport in America. In 2020, a premier championship for women was developed, ushering in a new generation of female athletes to an arena they've been represented in for nearly 80 years. For Amazing America, I'm Taylor Murray with the National News Desk.
And as we go to break, views of the iconic Brooklyn Bridge.
Good Tuesday morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Andrew Buck-Michael. We do have some scattered rain starting to move its way in later today, sliding down from Canada here with a cold front, and that'll push some of that rain down into the Ohio Valley for tomorrow. But look at all of the 80s we've got out here across the plains and mostly sunny skies. By the time that we get to your Thursday, got a little bit of rain sneaking its way down into Minnesota there, and most of us dealing with highs in the 70s and 80s.
Hi, meteorologist Chris Succio. Look at our forecast across the region. Has been a beautiful day. Oklahoma across Texas. There's a little bit of rain across Louisiana. That'll be heading out. So as we look at your Tuesday, nice and cool in the morning. 55 Oklahoma City. How about Little Rock around 52 degrees? Lots of sunshine, still low humidity, and very pleasant for temperatures here as we're working closer to mid-May. 70s to around 80 degrees, mid-upper 80s as you work across South Texas.
Well, hi there, everybody, and a good Tuesday morning to you. I'm meteorologist Shannon O'Donnell. Heading deeper into the month of May, and our temperatures are heading deeper into toasty territory. Look at triple digits back for Vegas and for Phoenix today. 89 up the bend there in Reno versus the May gray, keeping the city by the bay just in the low 60s near the Golden Gate Bridge. The difference between the air masses resulting in some windy conditions over parts of Idaho today. Watch for thunderstorms eventually near Portland. And that's the scene from here.
I'm Christina Ernie, meteorologist at WJAR in Providence, Rhode Island, and you're watching the National Weather Desk.
We're now less than 6 weeks from the start of summer, and that is, of course, when the summer solstice arrives, which is the longest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. Salt Lake City meteorologist Lindsay Storrs looks at how much daylight we gain using Utah as an example.
Hi there. You've probably noticed that the sunrise is getting earlier and the sunset is getting later. As of today, our sunrise was at 6:19 a.m. and the sun won't set until shortly after 8 p.m. But we're gaining about 2 minutes of daylight per day right now. So that means a week from now, sunrise is going to be closer to 6:10. 2 weeks from now, it'll be around 6:05, and a month from now, sunrise in Salt Lake City will be before 6 a.m. As far as the sunset goes, a month from now, our sunset's going to be close to 9 p.m. That's an additional 48 minutes of daylight on top of what we already have as of today.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm meteorologist Jordan Evans. Make it a great day. I'll see you right back here tomorrow.